connecting. Okay, are we live? I have trouble connecting. All right, chat. I think we're live. Y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Late Night Show. We're your host, Dr. Kojo. My mouth is dry. We have an exciting topic that we're talking about tonight. Hopefully the stream is good on your end. It's a little bit choppy on mine. And I'm not sure if I should just quit the stream and start it again. But we should be streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, both of my YouTube pages. That's the Late Night with Dr. Kojo YouTube page, and also the main Dr. Kojo YouTube page on Twitch. And we should be live on TikTok as well. So I'm watching the TikTok stream on on my phone, so I can see what people are saying on TikTok. All right, it looks like the signal is good. Yeah, Sylvia, it looks pretty good on my end. It was choppy in the beginning, but it looks good. Okay, it looks good. All right, looks like we're good to go. Leilani's here, one of the moderators, or our moderator. So we have an exciting topic tonight. We're going to be talking about 3 signs that you're addicted, not in love. All right, so this is for my anxiously attaching people. These are for my people pleasers. These are for my people who are struggling with the boundaries. All right, not that you're bad. I'm going to say struggling. All right, struggling means that we can get better. I was watching a video on Facebook when I got this notification. All right, yes, it's working. It's working. Perfect. All right, so we're good to go. Use the comment section to let me know where you're checking in from, and also let me know your name as well if it doesn't already show. If you're on Facebook, it will show your name. It'll show your first and your last name. So if you don't want your government name to be on Facebook, change it to something else. Jeannie Patterson, good evening. How are you? Let me see. On TikTok, we have Hooks and Books. Okay, Henry Riker. Thank you for your attention. Light in the Dark, thank you for sharing and liking the live. Share and like the live so that way the platform that you're on right now can send it out to other people who could be interested in what I'm talking about. I was just listening to music when I got the notification. Awesome, awesome. So right on time. Look, Patrick is one of my loyal supporters. And I got to give Patrick a shout out because Patrick always tunes in at 2:30, 3 a.m. in the morning because he's in London. Patrick, I don't know if you work the graveyard shift or if you just have really bad insomnia, but I appreciate you and I see you. Rebecca is checking in from Australia. We got international love in the house. Jeannie's checking in from Chicago. Jeannie, you know what? It's like God answers your prayers. So we just added a 3rd city to the tour. We added Chicago, Illinois. So June the 11th. June. Actually, hold on. Let me double check. I think it's June 18th. Yeah. June 18th, Chicago. This is on my Instagram story right now. June 18th, Chicago, Illinois. I will be at the Comedy Bar. That's a Thursday night. So if you're in Chicago, if you're in the Allsip, Chicago metro area, wherever you're at, come on out to see me at the Comedy Bar. That's June 18th. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm actually waiting to cross the border from Mexico to the U.S. Okay, well, hopefully you can get here in time for my show. Yeah, I like when people can get the notification live. That's awesome. We have the Cayman Islands in the house, Tampa, Florida in the house, Alberta, Canada in the house. Renee from North Carolina. Renee, how are you? Renee is Big Mama. We got Jeannie will be there. Jeannie, I appreciate that. I can't wait to see you in Chicago. I can't wait to see the rest of the Chicagoans at that show. Once again, that's June the 18th in Chicago, Illinois. All right. The tour kicks off in Houston, Texas. So April the 26th, 2026. We kick off in Houston, Texas. All right. That's a Sunday night. The very next month, we're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, which is my hometown, at the Zanies Lab. That's May 31st. Doors open at 5:30, 6:30 is the show. Then on the 18th of June, we will be in Chicago, Illinois. All right. The cities that we're looking to add on the tour that are not on currently are New York City and Seattle. We're looking to add those two as of right now. Honda, I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. Northern Colorado in the house. Indianapolis, Indiana in the house. Patrick has insomnia. Okay, Patrick, we hate to keep you up, but I appreciate the attention. I'm excited about the Houston show. I'm excited for the Houston show. It's going to be so amazing. Takara is thinking about coming from Indy to Chicago. It's only 3 hours away. I appreciate that. I'll never forget. We had a woman drive from Chattanooga to Atlanta for my Atlanta show, and it just warmed my heart. Her name was Sarah. Lovely lady. She had both of my books as well. She had the first one, which is called You Already Won, that she had Feeling Good. So that meant a lot to me. And Trish, I'm happy that I feel better. I'm not sure if y'all are aware, but last year the tour was supposed to start in September. So we should have started in September of last year in Houston, Texas. But I got burnt out. And it wasn't fun. I couldn't even sleep. Nothing was fun. I fell out of love with content for a little bit. I was burnt out. Daddy had to rest for a little bit. And the way to do that was by canceling the shows. But Daddy's gotten a lot of sleep now, and he's ready to go back out on the road. So I'm excited. Hopefully, we hope to come from Cleveland. Oh, Renee is recovering from a spicy romantic weekend. Okay. Renee, shout out to whoever knocked your boots off. Shout out to you, Renee. We're feeling good. Jamie on TikTok, thank you so much. Kansas, Georgia in the house. Space Coast, Florida in the house. Texas in the house. Watts, thank you for your attention. Perth, Australia. British Columbia. Texas. Seattle. Washington. Awesome. Can you give me some tips for mental health? I'm going to give you some really good ones tonight. All right. I'll look to come to Cleveland, Ohio. I'll look to come out to Cleveland. I'll look to come out there. I will look to come out there. Before we get into the live stream, I just got the notification on Instagram that Eric Dane passed away from ALS. Damn, I hated that. He was one of my favorite actors. Yeah, he was a plastic surgeon on Grey's Anatomy. Damn. McSteamy. Rest in peace. Oh, life. You gotta appreciate it while you have it. My goodness. Rest in peace, Eric Dane. Just want to acknowledge that. If you're watching this live stream right now, it means that you're alive. So no matter how bad it gets, just remember that we're alive. We're here. You know, like we're here. We're good. We have life. We have air in our lungs. Got to be grateful. Word of the night is that, yeah, Daddy had to get some rest. He was tired. All right. 3 signs that you're addicted and not in love. Who am I talking to when I'm talking about 3 signs that you're addicted and not in love? I'm talking to y'all. I'm talking to my neurodivergents. I'm talking to my people who keep finding themselves in toxic situations. I'm talking about people who anxiously attach to the same person over and over and over. If you date the same person, but their faces change, yeah, I'm talking to you. If you have ADHD and you go super fast in the beginning of a relationship, I'm talking to you. Heck, I'm talking to myself. Who am I kidding? I'm talking to myself as well. Someone on TikTok says, I'm married to a covert narcissist. All right, now. When it comes to marriage, I always say that, do what you can to, work out the situation, because like you got the government involved, you got God involved. It's marriage. Like we got to put some respect on the name of marriage, but obviously, don't subject yourself to something that's not good for your mental health. So whether they're narcissists or not, I don't know, but I hope that I hope that things work out for you. Divergent Autist on TikTok. Renee says, Yes, I find people who need to be loved but cannot know how to love me back. Renee, there's a couple of folks here who gonna feel what you saying. So glad I came across you. Helped me understand myself more as being ADHD. Rhonda, I always have space for my ADHD people over here. In fact, this platform is for y'all. Autism and ADHD. I'm ADHD. Took me a year to love my. What? It took you a year to love your boyfriend? Respect. Respect. Okay. Before I get into the 3 signs that you're addicted to not love, drop a 1 in the chat if you have autism. Drop a 2 in the chat if you have ADHD, and if you have ADHD, right? If you have the double combo, drop a 3 in the chat. Just for a show of hands. I want to see who all is here. Just for a show of hands. 1 for autism, 2 for ADHD, 3 for ADHD. Look at all these 3s on TikTok. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. Okay. 3, 2, 3, 3. 2, but that 2 diagnosed, but think maybe so 3. Same here on Facebook and YouTube. 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, possibly 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. On TikTok once again, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3. Yeah, so it looks like, all right, okay. 3, 3, 3. All right, so I know my audience. We're talking to people who have autism and ADHD. All right. Nicola Jeffrey, 3 is autism and ADHD, 2 is just ADHD, and 1 is autism. So the majority of people here have both. And Eam Nin says, I say I love you right away. Okay. And my new partner's a 3, so he's probably saying that because he wants to feel normal. Look, so we don't talk about this phrase often and how sometimes it's a trap. That phrase, I love you, is a trap because, if you say it to somebody, you kind of expect to hear it back. But if you say it pretty damn early, then it's like, all right, I've kind of put this rope around you, and like now I've brought you close to me, and like we're tethered because you have to say I love you back or else it's not real. and for those people who don't feel like they're ready to say it, just don't say it. Like, we're never spicy over here. We say what's on our mind. So if somebody says I love you, you don't feel it. Like, it's happened to me before, and I've been like, thanks. I say thanks because if you say I appreciate you back, then it's like, oh, you love me and I appreciate you is uneven, and it might be, but I said thank you, thanks. The more you talk, the more you ruin it. Just say thank you and leave it alone. All right, just say thank you and leave it alone. Am I freezing? Let me know if I'm freezing or not. Mac, what's going on? Mac, my guy, how are you? Oh, the West Coast is treating daddy all right. We're having fun on the West Coast. Look, yeah, you tell me that you love me and I say thanks. I mean, it can seem like a rejection, but it's just one person's honest assessment of the situation. Like, thanks. Like, like I would like it does feel a little harsh to not hear it back, but I would rather somebody say thanks, and I would rather say thanks and then say it when you actually feel it. And I think that this is actually one, not to go too off topic here, but this is one issue that a lot of us have if we're dating somebody who is neurotypical, right? If you're dating a normal person, there are going to be things that you have to say that you don't feel, but you have to say it. For example, you go on a trip, you don't see your spouse, partner, situationship, whoever, you don't see them for like 3 weeks, all right? Then they come back and they're like, I missed you. if you're somebody who likes to be in isolation and you're using that time to recharge, you may not say I miss you back. You might say, "Oh, yeah, I'm happy to be back home." Like, yeah, I'm happy to see you, but like we didn't miss the person. Not that we don't like him, but we didn't miss him because the time spent away. Like I was recharged. Like, I was having a good time. I was playing video games. I was in the room farting by myself. Like I was having a good time, and it can make people feel a way where you don't miss them back, So yeah, the first time someone told me I love you, I said that's good. What an autistic response. So I tell Amy I love you. Amy says that's good. That's funny. I've never been good with touchy feely stuff, even though I crave it. Okay, and like with most things, you get better with practice. And on TikTok, Divergent Autist says, I'm told I do not sound genuine because of having to say something I don't believe in or understand. Oh, a lot of us do that. Think about all the things you say throughout the day. Like 65% of those things, you don't mean it. You're just saying it because you have to ask somebody how their day is when they ask you. But you don't really mean the majority of the stuff that you say. But when we're masking a lot, we're saying a whole lot of things that we don't mean. Yeah, in the room farting by yourself that's a great time. M says he's recharging to see me. Apparently, I'm an energy vampire. So, look, I don't know what your person is like, but what if they're on the spectrum and they need time to recharge and it's not you? Like I'm not gonna default and say you're an energy vampire because And Lady King, I do agree that we should talk more about ADHD and bipolar coexisting. I do agree. I agree with that. Mommy AB, how are you? Hey, my neurodivergent stand up. All right, so I got 3 signs that you're addicted and not in love. All right. And if you can relate to any of these 3, it means that you just being aware of these things could change your situation. All right. So if you can relate, you don't have to say, oh, I'm going to quit dating or whatever. No, just be aware of it. The mere awareness of these things is going to help you be more mindful. Hopefully not too in your head, because that's not the goal of this. I'm not trying to get you to overthink everything. All right. But 3 signs you're addicted and not in love. Number one right here. You want them more when they pull away. All right. You want them more when they pull away. All right. And if your hyperfixation has been a certain person and this is happening to you, then I'm very sorry, because it's going to feel like a gut punch. It's going to be tough because all of a sudden it seems as if they never liked you. And I don't know why people pull away. Sometimes people pull away because they're exhausted. Sometimes they pull away because they need space from you. Not that they don't want to leave the relationship. They just need space to breathe. Sometimes people just need space to breathe, right? And then you can have times where people pull away on purpose. All right. Like, make no mistake about it. Some people do this type of thing on purpose. I'm not saying that your situation is like that. Don't call your person a narcissist unless like you really believe that. But some people, because hurt people hurt folks. Some people will like attach to you and then pull away on purpose. I want to believe that that's the minority. I would like to believe that. But if you want them more when they pull away, it could be a sign that you're just addicted and it's a dopamine rush. You're addicted and understimulated. That's the thing. You're understimulated. And one of the jokes I like to make is I could think back to a lot of times in my life when I was horny. I just needed a hug. I was just understimulated. I didn't have to kick it with old girl and have a 7-month situationship that distracted me from what I was doing and probably distracted her from what she was doing. I just needed a hug. A hug would have cured my problems. Just a good strong hug. Think about the situations that can be avoided if you know that you're understimulated and you're chasing dopamine. Just go get you a nice hug. Get you a nice hug, and everything gonna be all right. Because you need the touch. Like, we need touch as human beings. Like, I don't think people realize how much like touch like factors in this whole thing. We need to be touched as human beings, all right? And if when I said that something else popped up in your head, then that's on you for thinking dirty. I ain't saying nothing. That's on you for having a dirty brain. That's on you. We need to be touched. Kids need to be touched by their parents, and I was gonna say their uncles, but we could go to left field here. But kids need to be touched by the parents and caregivers. We need to be touched by even our colleagues and friends. Like, whenever you're giving a guy a dap up and you haven't seen him in a long time, you give your boy a hug. Like, that's healing. It's just healing to have like whenever I see my guys back in Georgia, I see David and Kevin and Big Mike, we dap up. It's a big hug. Like, those are healing moments. So touch, it doesn't have to be sexual. I know that's what y'all are thinking, because that's where y'all heads are at. Actually, that's where my head is at. But just a regular platonic touch is very healing. It's healing a lot of times. And I feel like in this society nowadays, like, I'm all for AI. I'm all for AI, and it's a great way to help us be more efficient. But we're using AI 25/8. We're in the house all the time. We're not talking to people. We're so isolated. A lot of people out here are touch deprived. And no, Renee, I agree. It is an epidemic. A lot of people out here are touch deprived. A lot of people out here need that touch. Andrea, babies bond during skin-to-skin contact. Even babies need touch. John says, I haven't had a hug in years. John, I'm sorry to hear that, my guy. If you're at a show, man, like, I'll hug you, man. Like, we get a lot of people to come and give you a big hug. A big hug. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm guilty for sure. Like, yeah. My brain's dirty. Sue me. These days, women think men are pigs if you look at them and smile. So, Mac, dating has become interesting now. Like, you do have to go the extra mile to show that you're not a creep. That's why I find myself having to do, whether I do something like this, or I don't know, like, I'll do weird things just to show, like, hey, like, I'm not a creep. Like, and sometimes, like, we do the most just to show that we're regular law-abiding citizens, and like, some men can be aggressive. So I get it. And B Guerrero, this is not pre-recorded. I can see your comment. Lawrence Anthony says, I haven't had a big hug in months. Oh man. And Stone Cold Steve, yo. Yo, this is the greatest name I've ever read. This is the greatest name I've ever seen on social media. Stone Cold Steve Autism. Yo, where'd you come up with that? That's hilarious. That's funny. Stone Cold Steve Autism. That's hilarious. That's funny. Wow. That's amazing. But I am pro AI, not pro people losing their jobs. I'm pro using all of us using AI to make our lives more efficient. That gives us more time to spend with our family members and loved ones. And Stone Cold Steve Autism. Hey, can I borrow that? Yo, that's great. That's great. That's funny. That's funny. I asked my husband to give me a big squeeze and everything just settles. Hugs are so important. Hugs are so important. So important. Stone Cold Steve Autism. Yo, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. B Guerrero says, I've been trying to change my problem is I don't feel real and don't feel interactions are real. All right, so a lot of Big Guerrero, I'm not saying that this is you, but a lot of people are suffering from social anxiety and agoraphobia, and like it's a big deal to leave the house. So you have to work in steps. If you can leave to go get the mail, that's a win. If you can go to the grocery store and have one conversation, that's a win. Like you have to count the small wins. Yeah, that's a great name. Stone Cold Steve Autism. Just amazing. Just amazing. Just amazing. Catherine says, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And hugging is grounding. Hugging is grounding. And also, Amanda, I will say that not everybody likes hugs. All right. It's important to point that out. Some people only want to be touched by certain people, and it's not just everybody. So hugs aren't for everybody. I'm a hugger, but not for everybody. Not for everyone. All right. The second sign that you're addicted and not in love and that you're dopamine seeking. Right here. You feel more anxious than you feel safe. All right. You feel more anxious than you feel safe. Did this strike a chord with somebody? You feel more anxious than you feel safe. All right. I think it's important to ask yourself whenever you're in a situation and you're not sure how safe you feel, to ask yourself, how regulated am I? What's my ability to ground myself? Like, do I feel safe in this environment? A lot of us don't feel safe at work or at school or even at home. Some people don't feel safe at home. And that really sucks when you can't feel safe at home. Like home is where like you can be who you are. But if you don't feel safe at home, then it'll be tough to go out into the world and be your best self. If you feel more anxious than you feel safe. And what's the sign of this? All right. Your partner looks at you. They just look at you. All right. They glance at you, then they look away. And you think that they look at you in a way that means that they don't like you anymore. And because of that one weird look, you're asking yourself if they like you. So because you're not sure if they like you, you're doing things to make sure that you're on good terms with that person. And even doing that doesn't make you feel safe. Like you can't outthink anxiety. You can't outthink a mental problem. The only way you can defeat anxiety is by taking action. Action defeats anxiety. Like it squashes anxiety. But if you don't take action and you're in your head and you think that the person hates you and you're convinced that they don't like you anymore, you could be dopamine seeking and not actually in love. All right. If you're walking on eggshells, yeah, exactly. If you're walking on eggshells. And Mac, the topic tonight is 3 signs that you're addicted and not actually in love. All right. And keep in mind, if you feel any of this, right? Number 1 is you want them more when they pull away. Number 2 is you feel more anxious than you feel safe. All right. If you experience any of these, it could be a sign that you're inadvertently love bombing them. Okay. And we talk about love bombing like it's a negative thing. And I think that's the assumption there, that you're unhealthily connecting with somebody, which is for the most part true. But every now and then you'll have a mutual love bomb where like y'all are just balls to the wall. That happens a lot in ADHD relationships. This is balls to the wall. Boom. Sometimes it works out. I know people who have married after 2 months and they've been together for 30, 40, 50 years. I feel like that's not the majority of the stories where people mutually love bomb, but it is possible. I don't want to act like it couldn't ever happen. Dr. Dakota to go. I appreciate you. I'm 52 and just diagnosed with ADHD. I feel people in my house don't like me now. And keep in mind, this could also be in interpersonal relationships. Like you could be addicted, to the idea of love, and you could be addicted to dopamine. And it could be wanting attachments or unhealthy attachments to your family. If you feel like the people in your house don't like you, then you're gonna be walking on eggshells. You can't be your most authentic self. You can't be your most authentic self. Yes, and perhaps I get confused back and forth with getting attention is trauma, not love. Right, right. When you're addicted to attention, you'll go to great lengths to get it. Mm-hmm. And Aaliyah, oh, this is being recorded. All this stuff is recorded. And on Facebook, the live streams stay up for a month, I want to say. And on YouTube, I don't think they ever go away. TikTok, there's no way to get the live stream after it's, like I can see my live stream on TikTok, but y'all can't see it after the fact, which I wish TikTok would change that. Megan says, OG in the house. I don't have a partner anymore. I've learned to love me and accept me, quirks and all. Megan, you and me both. You and me both. Megan and I are back on the streets. And we're learning to love and accept ourselves, quirks and all. Megan, keep going. Keep going. Why I took a long time to love again after making mistakes. I think my past love was love, but actually was me just addicted to trying to fix an abusive man, which he ended up putting. Ooh. Sorry to hear that, Amanda. Definitely sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. Sometimes the trauma that we go through prevents us from like connecting to people without thinking about what the worst possible thing could be. And that's what trauma does. It does rewire your brain. So any progress you can make towards putting yourself back out there, gotta give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit. How are you streaming with the comments? I'm streaming on StreamYard. It looks so good. Yeah, I mean, well, I will say that. Well, I have an iMac, and I got this iMac like 3 years ago. So it's not the newest one, but it's a pretty good computer. And StreamYard is a very reliable platform. And I have light shining on me. Like, I am black. I still do need the light to shine on me so y'all can see my handsome face. But I need the light first. So yeah, all those things come together to make an aesthetic live stream for y'all. Like, not talking for days can be no, look, this can definitely be abusive, and people do this. Sometimes they don't even realize that they do this. A lot of people do this and they don't realize what they're doing to the other person. And sometimes you realize you know what you're doing. But this type of thing is called stonewalling. So the person just refuses to talk to you. They put you on a verbal timeout for however long they want. And you just sit there until they're ready to talk to you again. It's actually quite manipulative. Mike, I appreciate you. You forgot. You see my cheekbones? That's funny. So if you're dopamine seeking and realize what's going on and not that this person hates you, what do you do instead of thinking that while dopamine seeking? Well, Meg, a couple of things right here. So it's important. Take the dopamine seeking, to the side for a second. All right, dopamine seeking aside, all right, let's just focus on the person potentially hating you, all right? It's important to challenge some of these thoughts because there's a good chance that this person doesn't hate you. A lot of times people will be ambivalent and they're not, like, they don't love you or they don't hate you. Like, they just feel like nothing. But if you don't get enough stimulation, if you don't get certain signs, you're going to believe that the person hates you. So I think it's important to realize that if you think somebody hates you, or if you think somebody doesn't like you, that's when you should take a step back and ask yourself how much you like yourself in that moment, how much you're operating from a place of confidence and not insecurity. And normally, whenever we really think that people hate us or people don't like us, those are the moments where we're kind of like struggling to like ourselves and appreciate ourselves. And now back to the dopamine seeking. This doesn't make things any better, right? Because if you need that constant stimulation and you're worried about the person not liking you, then you will go to great lengths and do things that can be against what you believe in. You could drop your standards because that's better to you than this person leaving you. So what to do instead of thinking that while dopamine seeking. It's important to understand that this person, even if they do hate you, that's none of your business. Like let's just say that this person hates you. All right. If they hate you, that's cool. It's none of your business. Now, if you're married to this person, okay, and you have a family with them, all right, okay, we got a situation then. But if it's somebody that you're platonically attached to, or somebody that you just met, and they actually hate you, fine, let them live. Cool, whatever, all right, whatever. Just let it be. And it's important to understand that you're dopamine seeking. So if you know that you're dopamine seeking, then you can say, "Oh, I'm just a little understimulated right now. Let me go find my stimulation in healthier ways. But I can't sit here and continue to do this. Like I'm going to need some time uh, to do my own thing." Oh, this is, I mean, like you can answer this question in multiple different ways. So if you if you're addicted to somebody's validation and you need their attention and you're more concerned about that person leaving you than going back on your standards, yeah, you could definitely be in an abusive relationship longer than you should be. So dopamine seeking can take you into an abusive relationship. It can keep you there, and you break it by learning how to regulate your dopamine. And this is why this is primarily, I mean, it's not, yeah, I will say it's primarily an ADHD problem. If you have ADHD and autism, then yes, because you have the ADHD part. But this is one of the classic ADHD problems, seeking dopamine and struggling to regulate our attention and our focus. Like anytime that we're behind on stuff in life, anytime that we're feeling depressed, anytime everything becomes so much harder to do, or you feel like your to-do list keeps piling up, that comes from an inability to regulate yourself. If you can't regulate your mood and your emotions and your focus and your attention, then you're going to be dysregulated. So you're not even at the best, you're not even the best version of yourself to make certain decisions. So like if you're already in the abusive relationship, then you're dysregulated. I don't think you walk around on most days feeling good. You're walking on eggshells. And the only way to feel good in this situation is to stay in the situation. That's the thing about it. That's why you stay. Because if the person is doing the whole thing where they give you attention and they pull it back and then they give you something and then they pull it back, that's kind of how you get your excitement. And because you can't regulate that, you stay in it. So learn how to regulate your dopamine, learn how to regulate your attention and your mood and your focus. And you can practice this by putting limits on how long you scroll on social media. It's ironic that you're probably watching this on the phone right now, but you can work on this by giving yourself time limits with social media. Like reading, writing. We have to train our brains how to do these things once again because we've become so enthralled with social media and our phones. But meditating, reading, writing, that will help you regulate your dopamine. And it could get you out of a abusive relationship. It really could. It really could. If they talk about you, doesn't make a stronger. Well, look, if you don't have haters, you're not doing it right. Everybody got haters. I think everybody got haters for the most part. I'll answer this question, then I'll go to my third talking point. And somebody says on TikTok says, "Hi, it's very hard if you're South Asian." What does being South Asian have to do with struggling to regulate your dopamine? All right. Anyway, Daniel says, "How do we better our relationship with a significant other that doesn't understand or believe in ADHD? I become so annoyed with him. I almost hate being in the same room with him." All right, so I'll just tell you directly. We're not going to beat around the bush. Until the person has a desire to want to learn about ADHD, they won't learn about it. They won't think it's real. So that desire has to be there first and foremost. It's going to be very hard for you until they have that desire. And normally what happens is the ADHD will lead to something that is, not ideal. Maybe you got behind on tasks, maybe you spent too much money, maybe you became depressed. But once that person can see how the ADHD is affecting you, then they kind of tend to take it a bit more seriously. But yeah, tough situation, because if you're dating somebody, I don't think that this is grounds to just break up with them. But if somebody has a desire to not want to have a desire to know you, it's kind of a red flag. But it's one red flag. So look for patterns, but it is kind of a red flag. I've got time limits on TikTok and Instagram, but not YouTube. YouTube is purely educational. And sometimes I'm entertained by the education too. I heard of someone who doesn't believe. That's ridiculous. That's funny. Somebody TikTok says, only been in one relationship, want to leave but can't. And to that, I say there are a lot of people who are in relationships that you just can't. Like, you're living together, like it's just not possible to leave. So, when it's like that, don't beat yourself up for having to, maybe y'all split the bills and you've broken up. Like, don't beat yourself up. Buddy, what's going on? Candy, what's up? What's up? Social media. Oh, yeah. Social media is not real. Yeah. Everybody's relationship is perfect on social media. How do you deal with having a specific events-based social life, kind of not wanting to do what other people want you to do? I mean, the older you get, the less, of a damn you give. I don't care as much as I cared when I was younger. I think that comes with age. And if you can do it this at, in your 20s or your teens, give yourself a lot of credit. Because I did a lot of things I didn't want to do in my 20s just because I didn't want to miss out. Like, I was like, I gotta go out with the guys, but I didn't want to go. Can autistic and ADHD be in a good long-term relationship? Oh yeah. They go together like peanut butter and jelly, Lauren. This is a prime combination. Prime. Man, anytime. Steve, I appreciate you as well. I really appreciate you. I'll leave this up right here while I type the last one right here. And guys, I'll go grab some water because we forgot to do a water break. And I have this Nello drink right here. But I'll go get water so we can do a water break. An official water break. All right. You can go get the water and then I'll drop the third one in. But yes, peanut butter and jelly, they go together. Get some water, guys. Good zone. So drink our water. Good zone. Good zone. Yeah. Water break. Somebody dropped the magic word in the chat. Do y'all know what the magic word is? The magic word in the chat. Halima, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Halima. Y'all are far too kind. Who is Zoe? Oh, that's one of my wives. That's my lady. Cheers. Big cheers, y'all. Mickey Ficky. Mickey Ficky. Oh, you hope it's my dog? Why can't Zoe be my lady? No, it is my dog. Big cheers. Gotta get that water in. I drink my Nella, but I gotta get my water in. And this also looks like it's pee. I just have to say that because it's in my mind. Like, I'm not drinking pee, y'all. Just so you know. My dad was autistic. My mom ADHD. We're together 20 years. I'm RDHD. My partner's ADHD, and I'm happy. Yeah, I mean that's it's a primetime combination. Primetime combination. Prime. Good girl. I'm weak. Make it ficky. All right. So the third, and Leilani, we'll go about like that, maybe a little bit past the hour mark, Leilani. Just give me that heads up. No color. The B is hilarious. All right. So the third sign that you're not addicted, the third sign that you're addicted and not in love is this one right here. You lose focus on your own life. All right. So if you have this tendency to become enmeshed with the other person so much that you forgot what you were doing, okay, it's a sign that you're craving something, and it's not actual love, but you're craving that dopamine. You're understimulated. You're understimulated. Understimulated. And normally there's an element of codependence here as well. And these are relationships where it's pretty hard to get out of. When you become codependent on somebody, you feel as if you can't live without them, and vice versa. You lose focus on your own life. People who are prone to this, neurodivergence, anxiously attached people, even avoidance, because avoidance go well with anxiously attached people. So it's important to know that if anytime you start talking to somebody, you completely abandon what you have going on, you may not like the person. It just might be you trying to regulate yourself. All right. You're trying to regulate yourself. And Sam, why is the ADHD guys like me are attracted to women who have the look? And it's hard to let go. What do you mean by the look? Just women who are attractive? Like, if you're talking about guys with ADHD going for women purely on looks, if that's what you're asking, you have to learn how to slow down a little bit. Because if you slow down, then you can really take a look at character. You gotta slow down. Slow down. Slow down. PMDD. So you deal with the PMDD by getting the professional help. Whether you see your OB and they give you birth control pills, or whether you see your psych and get antidepressants, you gotta deal with the PMDD, and that will help the relationship. All right, let me see. Sam says blue eyes, dark hair, dimples, good teeth, athletic. Ooh, Sam. Ooh, I know what you're talking about, Sam. I know what you're talking about. Ooh, you got me stimming. It's hard because it's a double-edged sword. You do have to be attracted to the person. Anybody who says that you don't have to, don't listen to them. I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's your parents. Don't listen to them. It's a lie. Oh, you don't have to be attracted to the person. That's a big fat lie. You have to be attracted to the person. But if you want to find something long term, and you want to not be as looks based, it's important to go super slow and take a look at character. But for us guys with ADHD, I think that it is harder for us because we're more dopamine driven. So if it look good, then like we go for it. Like that's the only requirement. Like look good, and like all right, I'm good. I'm good. And as we know, once you get older, that doesn't work. Maybe in your teens or 20s or whatever, you're just having fun. But in your 30s and 40s, if you adopt that mentality, it could hurt you. And Sam, ADHD, it does make it almost impossible, which is why people with ADHD are prime candidates to be addicted and dopamine driven as opposed to being in love. And the thing that sucks for us is that you'll have like a good 3 to 6 weeks where you meet somebody and you're very fixated on them, and like they're the best person in the world, and they have the look, and like you're so enthralled with that person. And after about a month and a half, then you start to crash and the hyperfixation wears, and you're like, damn, like, not that I like them any less, but I gotta get back to like real life now. Sam, look, it hits me about a month and a half in, it hits me the same girl I was praying to God for. The same girl was like, God, please, please, Jesus, please just give me this girl. I promise I'll never ask you for anything. Forget what I said about the last girl. I get that girl a month and a half later. I'm like, all right, I am going to make an excuse as to why I can't see you today. I'm out of town. I'm on the road. I have every excuse in the book because the hyperfixation wore off. I was addicted to dopamine, and sometimes it could be love, but more times than not, it's just a dopamine addiction. It's not all about the looks. It's more than that, right? But at the same time, you can't abandon the looks. You really should start with the looks. And I know that sometimes women may say, "Oh, like he should want me for more than that," and you're right. He should want you for more than that. But if a guy looks at you and his first thought is, "Oh, this would be, this woman would be like a great, business partner," or like, "I would love to use her real estate services." Like if a guy looks at you and you're attracted to him and he thinks that, that's not a good thing. He should look at you and want to knock your socks off. He should. Not that you should do it, but he should want that. Like there needs to be that attraction. It's a bad idea to have physical intimacy early on in a situationship with one ADHD and one ADHD, possible autism ADHD. All right, so two sides to this once again. I feel like if there were ever a combination of people that could hook up early and stay together, it would be the neurodivergence, especially if it's a mutual love bomb. Like it would be the neurodivergence because you're having deep conversations early, like you're going all in, you're trauma dumping. So that's on one hand. On the other hand, if you found yourself in situations where you may be like, had physical intimacy early and then you felt worse after the fact and it keeps happening and you're bothered by this, then I think it'll be very wise to go super slow. And also look, when in doubt, go super slow. Just like molasses slow. Especially when you don't know. Like if you don't know, you don't know. Go slow. Nobody's forcing you to, and if they are forcing you, then that's kind of a red flag. You should go super slow in the beginning. Super slow. On TikTok, someone says, "My hubby and I married at 23, and codependency was a factor at one point for sure." I think almost all of us struggle with that, the neurodivergence, the codependence. I know someone who dated so many people for the honeymoon period and it ended. There's a lot of people who've done that, and I've been that person at some point. Is it true avoidant? Is it true avoidant and anxious will attract? So anxious and avoidance will attract. It can work, all right, but we can't confuse a relationship working for two people choosing to be together still. Because sometimes you can have two people who are together and nothing is working, but they're just staying with each other because it's a toxic relationship. And some people will be together for 30, 40 years and it's just toxic the whole way through. So, on one end, you have that. At the same time, if the person stays avoidant and the other person stays anxious, but they work to get closer to a secure attachment, then you give yourself a better chance at a healthy relationship. You give yourself a fighting chance. Your advice helped me so much. But Maria, I appreciate that. I appreciate you, Maria. And somebody says, "That's me." Okay. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Somebody says, "Just found out I'm high functioning, high masking. I feel like I don't even know myself anymore." Oh, you're just getting to know yourself for the first time. I don't want to mask in a relationship anymore. Well, in that case, you have to find somebody that you really like, like you like everything about that person. And one of the things that you like is the fact that they allow you to be yourself. Yeah. Mac, I appreciate you. Do you think routine is mandatory for married neurodivergent people. Oh, routine is married for every single person on the planet, whether you're neurodivergent or whatever. Routine is mandatory for all of us. Like like whenever you catch yourself slipping into a depressive funk, one thing that goes out the window is routine. Routine is good. Routine is going to help you a lot. Laura, who's your team? Are you a Colts fan? Who's your squad? Are you a Texans fan? Who's your squad? I did what you said. I slowed down my words. Oh, okay. And I accomplished a huge goal. Congratulations. Sometimes people can't understand us because we talk too fast. I've definitely been guilty of that before. All right. Let's do 5 minutes of Q&A. Roll, Tide, roll. Yeah, that's my college team right here. While there are many cases of autism, I don't like functioning labels. It ignores the struggles of people that highly mask, and it ignores the abilities of those that may not be able to mask. Yeah, this is an argument I've heard people make. And I think this is one of the reasons why we got rid of the term Asperger's. But I mean, it's probably better to say Asperger's and high function if you feel this way. I need to be attracted to them, but my need for justice is stronger. We have to connect deeply, have aligned values and beliefs, and complement each other. I built an attraction to someone I was unattached to because I liked who they were. Well, you said it all here. I stood in front of 50 people today during union organizing when a meeting was called without VP, payroll director, our director, and all of management to ask them simple questions. Out of 8 questions, they couldn't answer any of them. Congratulations to you for fighting that social anxiety and being able to talk to people. That's a lot. It's a lot of folks. That's a lot of people. 50 folks is a lot. If I own and currently use a cafeteria for... No, this is not a red flag. Andrea, you're good. Your voice is soothing, honestly. I appreciate that. I might start reading children's books for adults. Any words to those who face all the isms in society? What do you mean all the isms? Like autism, racism, sexism? Are those the isms? I'm not sure. Like those are the only ones that come to mind. Oh, aka Black neurodivergent. Okay, so I was right. Okay, so yes, I have some words for people who face all the isms. Number 1, let go of your need for understanding. I think that's probably my biggest piece of advice. Let go of your need for understanding, because especially if you have a strong sense of justice, you want the right thing to be done. You want to be heard. You want to be seen. And those are all things that we do need. So I'm not telling you to suppress yourself. Don't suppress yourself and don't play small. But if you let go of your need for your understanding, then it's going to help you naturally drift into spaces where you're appreciated, because you'll care less about what people think. And then you can be more authentically you. And then people are attracted to people who are authentically themselves, because it gives them hope that they can be themselves. So that's what I would say. And Maria, great work. So helpful. Yeah, look, you tell a doctor that you want to be assessed for autism, and they're like, sure, we'll send you to somebody. It's funny how fast they write off autism as a diagnosis. And the majority of y'all, if you go see a psych, they're not really thinking about autism, honestly. And Megan's an OG. I appreciate you. Mac, that's a word right there. Do not lean on your own understanding. It's a word right there. I'm confused. Slow down. Like talking, learning fact about them. I usually treat a first meeting like a business. Ask all the facts, then first date. Okay, this is one way to do it, especially if you don't want to waste time and you're trying to be efficient. That's one way to do it. Baby Brenia says, "What do you do when your emotions blind you?" I've tried warheads. Wow. Okay. Hmm. I like to ground myself. Maybe take off my shoes. Feel like the cold underneath my feet. Just really ground myself. But warheads also work too. Warheads also work too. Meg, if you're coming off of the meds, I think it's important to give yourself grace. If you're coming off of any medication, whether it's an SSRI or a mood stabilizer, give yourself some grace, because you might catch yourself being a bit more snappy and a bit more anxious and irritable, and then you forget that you stopped Effexor or something like that. Well, I mean, that's not SSRI. You forget that you stopped Prozac or Lexapro. So yeah, I think it's helpful to just remind yourself of the fact that you did stop the meds. Be nice to yourself. Maria, I'm happy that this. I'm so happy that this helped you out, because this was given. This advice was given to me, I would say, early in my stand-up career, because I was trying to rush through my jokes and I was trying to say everything so fast, and I realized that people weren't getting me. And one of the guys was like, "Hey man, like, you're funny, but like we got to hear you. We have to understand you. So if you slow down and if you use intonation and how you speak, and you develop a cadence about how you go about articulating your words, it'll help you out. And when you slow down, you can talk like this, and we can catch our breath. And anytime your pitch changes, people pay more attention to you. That's why we talk to babies like that. You want me to read you a bedtime story? Are you having a good day? Like, our brains, when we hear that type of, talking, we pay more attention. Even if we don't want to pay attention to it, we're like, who's talking like that? Yeah. When we get excited is when we tend to go fast. And also in acting class, Leilani Almark. Gotcha. Already, all right. Give me 5 more minutes here. But I got this advice in acting class where the teacher said that when we're up on stage and we're performing, we're going to be going twice as fast as we think we are. So he said, talk half as fast as you normally talk when you're performing or saying anything. And that was golden advice. Because when we're performing, we're excited, and so much is like flowing through our body. It's so much adrenaline, and it's just a lot. So if we slow down how we're talking, then people can actually hear us. Niki says, "He took out people get some replies for sure." When am I doing a show in Little Rock, Arkansas? Lawrence, I'm not sure, but I would love to do a show out there. I would love to do a show. And for those people who have gotten tickets already, I want to say thank you very much. The ticket sales are looking very strong, and this means a lot to me. It means a lot to me because when I had to push back the shows from last year, I felt bad because I couldn't come through. I couldn't come to Dallas. I couldn't come to Houston, and I just felt like I was letting people down. And also on my end, when you pull out of shows, you cost people money, and I don't like people messing with my money. So I felt like I was costing people money, but I just didn't have the energy, guys. I was burnt out. Like, I had nothing. So to take some time to recharge and come back and to be stronger and to still put out the ticket links to the shows, and the tickets are moving so well, I really do appreciate that. It means y'all haven't forgotten about me, and you gave me time to rest, because Lord knows that Daddy needed that rest. And y'all allowed me to take some time for myself and for my mental. And when I posted the information, y'all were just as excited. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. We kick off April the 26th in Houston, Texas. May the 31st, we're in Nashville, Tennessee. June the 18th, we're in Chicago. That Chicago show was just added yesterday. So get the word out to your people in Illinois. Get the word out. Maria, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And you should be proud of yourself. Public speaking ain't easy. It ain't easy. We're based in Los Angeles, California. And I do monthly shows in California anyway, because that's the hometown crowd. Taylor, I came to Atlanta 2 years ago, and Atlanta was one of the dates that we postponed last year. I mean, I canceled the show, but it was one of the dates that I had. So we're gonna look to get a show in Atlanta probably this year. Lawrence, I hope to see you at the Nashville show. There's still tickets available for Nashville and Houston, so I hope to see y'all. I'd love to come to Vermont. I'd love to come there. I'd love to come to Maine. I've never been to Maine before. I appreciate that. I'd love to come to Australia as well. So I can relate to this right here. If you're having a hard time and you're being bored while talking to other people, find one thing that the person has said and try and like find something interesting about that thing. You have to dig deep and figure it out, because if you can like actually be interested in something, then it won't show on your face that you're bored. But if not, like people can tell that like you're bored and that you checked out. Courtney, I appreciate that. Look, even though Nashville is my homecoming show, look, I've never performed in Nashville before, so I don't know what type of comedy town it is. But as of right now, Chicago is my #1 comedy city, and it's tied with Juneau, Alaska. The Alaskans came out. We had 180, almost 200 people packed in the Alaskan Hotel and Bar in Juneau last year. So Alaska showed so much love, and so did Chicago. So Chicago is tied for my favorite comedy city. I love Chicago. Y'all like to laugh over there. Napa, California. I gotta do that. Bunny, I can't wait to see you in Houston. Come through. Bring all your lady friends. Bring all of them. Oh yeah. Yes, ma'am. I do comedy. Myrtle Beach. I took a girl I was dating in college to Myrtle Beach. No, actually that was Charleston. Never mind. But I've been to Myrtle Beach once with family. I keep getting them confused. Oh, Mac, are you in Maine too? Oh, I gotta come out there to Maine. Orlando. Okay, I gotta come out there. I gotta come out through to Orlando. And Megan, I appreciate you. Being single. Purchase first house. Nah. You don't owe me. You owe yourself. You should be grateful to yourself for taking the action. You should be thanking yourself. You did it. You did it. I'm bringing people. And I like this community. I really do. Like I don't have to hide the fact that I'm crazy. I'm tired of having to pretend that I'm normal. Every day you gotta wear a mask. You gotta pretend like you're like the rest of the people. But we know we're crazy. I mask so well. The Kayla's just deliver circles, don't come here. Okay, wow. I like the honesty. Congrats in the shower. That should be celebrated. Dallas in the house. I gotta come out to Dallas, Adrian. I gotta come out there. I love Dallas. We'll see if we have the same taste of women. The women in Houston are very dangerous. Very dangerous. Come to Dallas. I have lots of single girlfriends looking for a good man, Savannah. Well, how can I satisfy all of those single girlfriends? Like, I'm only one person. Daddy's only one person. Chicago has the most comedians. I can see that. Maria, come on out. We're all weird and crazy. Look, so the cool thing about crazy is that it's an all-encompassing term. All right. So you can just say you're crazy and just leave it out there for people to figure out how crazy you are. That's why I like crazy. It's like, it's a spectrum. Now I'm not like crazy, but like I'm crazy, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Like Not crazy, but I'm crazy. I know I am. Michigan in the house. Oh no, Houston probably has maybe the highest number of like attractive women in the U.S. I mean, oh my gosh, that's why I stay out of Houston. I really do. I want to. I want to be shielded. You gotta watch out for Houston. You gotta watch out for Houston, Texas. You gotta watch out for Houston, Texas. Tend to be fun for the moment. Bunny, I know. I've spent some time in Houston. I had to spend some time in Houston. You gotta be very careful out there. I gotta guard my loins. Thanks from Houston. No worries. I appreciate you. As a psychotherapist, I like to say, gotta be crazy to understand crazy. No, that's why I'm the best for my patients. My patients love me because I'm crazy, but I like, you don't show it like in a professional setting because like, I have to mask there and pretend that I'm normal, but like I'm crazy, so I know exactly what you're going through because I'm crazy. So that's why I can fix you because I vacillate between crazy and stable. So like I go back and forth. I go back and forth. Yeah. Houston, in terms of the most amount of attractive women, I think so, Sam. I would say Los Angeles it's in the top 5. I don't think it's number 1, but like LA is like in the top 5 somewhere. But LA is not a real world. Like LA has wrecked my mind. It's not a real world. But Houston, you gotta watch out for Houston. Watch out for Houston, man. Australia. Well, I've never been to Australia. You could be right. The DC man hate it. Oh boy, I concur. It's overrated. Yeah, LA is a little overrated, but I mean, it's still my city. I love it. It still is my city. Don't sleep on Seattle women. Seattle women are sleeping on Seattle women. Nobody. I mean, Seattle needs to. They need to speak up for themselves. We don't hear much about Seattle. They need to speak up for themselves. Facts, Mac. Facts. I need to cue the Morgan Wallen. No LA girls and no Broadway girls. Easier to treat it when you can personally understand. No, Katrina, facts. Like a lot of doctors don't understand because they don't have lived experience. But like I know, like I know, like I know. I'm not just speaking from like I've read the textbooks. Yeah, I read textbooks, and like we have to go through the DSM-5. But no, I know. Oh, you flying to the Bahamas next month? Oh, what you finna do in the Bahamas, Kayla? I had bad experience with a woman. Well, you can't say all Seattle women are bad because of one, but I don't know too much about Seattle women. Okay, all right. Hey, I put me on. I don't know too much about Seattle women, but put me on. Not fan of Seattle's culture. It is a little interesting, Seattle, their culture, but I think that they are happy people. Seasonal depression is, I guess that's just a Washington thing, but they are happy people. I was at the Mariners, and who did they play? They won Game 5 in 15 innings. I forgot who they played, but I was at that game when they won, and I mean, the stadium went nuts. So they have a great sports culture in Seattle. I can say that. The spectrum was like a stove, not linear. Some dials. Facts. Oh, you and me both. Country girl that love Jesus. Yeah. Well, Mac, you got to go down to Mississippi. You got to go down to Louisiana. Go to Baton Rouge. That's why I love Louisiana. They have the best accent of any state in the U.S. And in Louisiana, all of them are, all the women are Jesus loving. All of them are country girls, and all of them embrace being country. I love Louisiana. I love me a Shreveport, Louisiana, a Baton Rouge. I've never been to New Orleans. Interestingly enough, yeah, I gotta go out to New Orleans. It's crazy. I haven't been to New Orleans. A live Madden stream. Okay, okay. I have to actually not lose. I've been getting my butt kicked, potentially. Oh, yeah. Georgia women too. How could I forget Georgia? How could I forget Georgia? I went to high school in Georgia. NOLA. Oh yeah. Those NOLA women, that accent that they have, baby. Yeah. Be careful. Be careful. Just the way you say baby, it just made me feel like warm and fuzzy. Louisiana girl here. I love NOLA, stuck in Dallas. We'll see. People in Louisiana, they go over to Dallas and Houston to make it. But I mean, half of Houston's culture is really from New Orleans, if we're gonna keep it a buck. So like y'all are felt. Y'all are felt. Baby. Upstate New York. I don't have any plans to come out to upstate New York, but I'd love to come there eventually. Oh, and I mean Alabama. Oh, Roll Tide. The Alabama accent is amazing. The Australian accent is pretty cool too. It's pretty cool too. Y'all like spicy British people. Like you sound British, but like something is like a little different. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go get this dog out, y'all. Hail State, Mississippi State. Okay. I get this dog out. Oh, guys, this is a great live stream. Let me see. We'll be back on Tuesday, next week, Tuesday at 9 o'clock East Coast time, 6 o'clock Pacific time. Excuse me. Yeah. So we're back on the schedule Tuesday and Thursdays. And also, I feel like I'm going to get caught up with a lot of stuff. If I get caught up with a lot of stuff, I'm going to throw in some bonus live streams because live streaming is amazing. I love live streaming. I love it. I love it. Oh, it's been a pleasure kicking it with y'all. Got my YouTube alert set. Lawrence, I appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate y'all. All right. I'm going to see y'all next week, Tuesday, 9 o'clock New York time, which is 8 o'clock Nashville time, which is 7 o'clock Phoenix time, which is 6 o'clock Seattle time, which is 5 o'clock Alaska time, which is 4 o'clock Hawaii time. And it's 2 a.m. London time. All right. So until then, I will see y'all. I love y'all and try and get some sleep, and I will do the same. Peace.